guys, welcome back to Coyote Ridge. Today I'm going to talk about a little tip I use for keeping a couple of survival items with you whenever you're out hunting. Some of you that have watched some previous videos may recognize where I'm at. This is a little, I guess at one time it was a playhouse, treehouse type thing that I started turning into a shooting house and shooting blind. Problem lied with whenever I was getting ready with it. Last year I was working on it some, trying to clear the hillside. Let me try and flip this around so I can see, get you a picture of the hillside. Okay, so whenever I started working on it, I was clearing those tall weeds you see and everything. About that time, a contractor for the power company showed up and let us know that they were going to be doing some tree cutting through here. That whole swath that runs down through that way and out that way is a clear cut for the power lines. As you can see, there's power lines run up there. So that kind of put everything I was doing on hold. But you know, they've got that done, and I'm going to give it a go again. I'm going to clear out that brush and make some shooting lanes. You know, I can see all up that hillside over through there. Once I get that cleared out, there's quite a bit of area over that way I'll be able to see that would be safe shooting. And that's what you want. You want lanes of safe fire. You don't want to shoot into anybody's home or anything. But I'm going to flip you guys back around here and show you the little tip I was talking about. Okay, this is my Savage Mark II 22 long rifle. As you can see, I mounted a scope on it. I mean, it's a cheap scope, but it magnifies real good. I put a sling on it, and as you can see, I wrapped the sling with some paracord cordage. Of course, that's one of your 5Cs, and it keeps it handy, and it's kind of padding for the sling as well. I like the OD green there. It helps blend in. I'm actually thinking about and considering painting this rifle, camoing it up. Please don't pay any attention to the cat that followed me here. It's mouthy. But guys, let me know what you think. What you think about maybe doing a camo job on that. You know, I mean, let me know if you think I should. Let me know what brand of paint you would recommend. Any tips? I've looked in on it some, and I like some of the results people are getting. You know, just a little bit to personalize it, maybe help with camoing it up. But just say here, we'll get to that tip. Okay, so on your rifles and shotguns, on the stock of it, on the butt stock of it there, you will have a butt plate or a pad. These are screwed on, and there is always some form of compartment behind them. If it's a wooden stock, mainly what you're going to have is just a drilled hole where the bolt goes through that that attaches your stock and everything. But in these composite models, these plastic stocks, you usually end up with more space. Now in a wooden stock, you could always drill out another compartment in them to hold a couple of things. I wouldn't recommend doing a whole lot to your wooden stock. Maybe just a decent size hole drilled so far back in that you could stick, whatever you think you'd like to take with you. And I'm going to pop this off here. I haven't had this off in quite a while, so I'm not exactly sure what's all is in this one. I usually do this with all of my guns, and Just stick some things in there and forget about them. It is important though to make sure that you have the right tool to get your stock off, to get your plate off with. You know, you would think, well, I can just get it off with my knife. Well, you may not be able to. Those might be pretty tight. You know, you'd have to have the right size Phillips head for that, or Allen wrench to get in there and get those off. So you would want to make sure you had that with you if you had to attach it, say on your strap inside the paracord or something. So keep that in mind, and I'll open this up and we'll see what I have in there. Okay, if you're doing this in the field in, say, an emergency survival situation, I would recommend just taking out one screw, probably the bottom screw, and I would put that, once I took it out, directly into your pocket so that you know you're not going to lose it by setting it down somewhere. And that way you will have it available. You know how easy it is to lose things in the bush. And then just loosen your top one enough so that you can swing it out of the way. And I can see right now I do have some cotton material in here. Looks like a camo bandana, camo handkerchief. And you kind of get the sense of the size of the compartment inside these. I may have a whole survival tin in there. I may have to take the top out. Yeah, I believe I'm going to have to take the top screw out on this one, guys, to get that out of there. So hold on, and I'll take that out and we'll take a look. Okay, so I've removed the butt plate entirely, and now this gives me access to pull this out. Seems like I have a completely self-contained setup here, and I'll have to open that up and see what I have in there. But here's an idea, guys, of the space available in these plastic stocks. That's a lot of room. You can store a lot of gear in there. With this 22, you know, you could put quite a few rounds in there if you had a, you know, there may actually be some rounds in here. I'm not sure. I can't remember what I put in this. So I'm just gonna kind of open it up here and we'll see what we've got. It's kind of like a treasure hunt. Okay, I don't have anything wrapped in there. Looks like I had it held together with a rubber band that's kind of corroded some there. Okay, and on the outside looks like I had a coffee filter. Coffee filter would be good for filtration. Of course, I'll be throwing this one away and not be doing a rubber band anymore. A Ranger band would maybe hold up a little longer. This is a Zippo case. That's what I used for that. I wonder if my Zippo's in here. I've been looking for that for 2 or 3 years. But we'll open this up and see what we have. It's a good tight fit. Oh yeah. Okay, so there were some emergency rounds in there. Kind of get that to the side. As you can see, I've got at least 3 .22 long rifle rounds in there. In the lid of it, there is a T-pack. You know, it was small, flat, so I just stuck it up in the lid. We have a book of matches. Book of matches in there. See, I've had some dryer lint in there. This is something that I definitely should have got into before now. As you can see, I had some bouillon cubes in there. I like bouillon cubes. You know, they're something that's easy to pack away, and they last a good long time.
but those have kind of gotten warm and old and kind of made a mess, so I'm gonna have to clean this up. I think we've run into this in another one of my videos, that I had some bouillon cubes stuck, so we may have to come up with something else besides the bouillon cubes. I do think I did start wrapping these in aluminum foil as kind of a little bit further protection in case something like this, but I think I may go a different route. Okay, so in this I have a lighter, a big lighter. If you're gonna use a disposable lighter, always use Bic. It's cold and that's stiff, and it may have got some of that stuff in it, but I'm sure working with this I can get it to light. I'll try to get some film of that before, maybe put at the end here, but let's see what else we got. So we got dryer lint, we have a small knife, that could be handy. I forgot all about this little knife. You know, I'm gonna have to clean that up now, but yeah, I'd recommend against putting bouillon cubes in anything, but I'll get him cleaned up and put back in there. And like I said, looks like we had four 22 long rifle rounds that that one I may just have to throw away, but I'll replace those. Put my when I put this back together, I'll put my dryer lint, maybe some fresh dryer lint, in a small Ziploc bag or something to put in there. I may do that with everything. Some of the very small Ziploc bags like you get for just little trinkets or jewelry or whatever, put each item in its own little Ziploc bag. That may help keep it from being affected by the rest of the stuff you have in your kit if something breaks down. But yeah, that could be a big benefit, guys. There I had a way, when it was fresh, of having something with maybe a little bit of sodium, a few little calories in the bouillon cubes. I had a way of filtering some water. Had a cutting tool, a small cutting tool. I had a lighter that I'm sure will get started back working. Matches, two forms there of combustion. I'd recommend a small fire still, ferro rod. I had some dryer lint to help start a fire. I had the tea bag, you know, for a little bit of flavor and maybe a little bit of a boost to you. And I had 4 extra rounds of 22 ammo. So there's a little tip, guys, of take advantage of the space provided to you, and especially in these type of stocks. And you know, just pop the butt plate off of your rifle or shotgun and see what you've got to work with there. So until next time, guys, remember to keep your head on a swivel, practice whatever you want to be good at, and question everything.